Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have something super exciting that I want to talk about. I'm going to do a story time about that time that I met my ultimate K-pop bias. I went to Seoul and I somehow found him and it was the best day of my life. Now if you're curious to who my ultimate K-pop bias is, it's and from Super Junior! Yeah, I just realized how old that made me sound. Well, the first time that I actually saw In-hyuk was at some town in New York City back in 2011. I was sitting like in one of those first few rows and I went with a couple of friends of mine, so I sat maybe 4 seats in, like from the aisle. And during one of the songs, it was In-hyuk and Shindong, I think. They were walking down the aisle from behind. In-hyuk was coming down like my aisle, and I was so excited. I just shoved all of my friends aside and I just ran to the aisle and I just touched him. Yeah, it's beautiful. So that was my one memory of him until back in 2013 when I was still pretty deep into K-pop. I decided to go to Korea to visit one of my friends from high school. It was a couple days before I left, she asked me what I wanted to do in Seoul. I've been to Seoul before, so I told her I didn't really need to do all that sightseeing stuff. I just wanted to spend time with her. And there was one thing I really wanted to do, which was to go visit In-hyuk's mom's bakery, because I knew that she had it somewhere in Seoul. I just didn't know where. And my friend was judging me like really hardcore, but she decided to take me there. So before we decided to go there, we checked out their Twitter page and all that to see if he was gonna be there, because sometimes if he's planning on being there, he'll like post it on Twitter. But when we checked, there was nothing. And I was like, you know, it's fine, like I don't have to see him. I'll just go there, we can eat some bread, and let me just bask in the fact that I'm in his mom's bakery, and that was all that I needed, really. It was pretty hard finding the way to the bakery because it wasn't like anywhere in Seoul. It was kind of out of the way, and it was a really long subway ride and then a bus ride, and we kind of missed a couple of buses. It was pretty late when we got there. We wanted to go right before closing because I heard that he's usually there right before closing. We got there really late, and my friend Anne was so disappointed that all the bread was gone because it was so late, and she was like, I came here to buy bread, but there's not even any bread left. Poor Anne was really upset, but then she decided, let's get shaved ice. And I was like, okay, let's get shaved ice. And so she ordered, and we sat down. And I was like finishing writing up his letter and everything. And to give you an idea of the layout of the bakery, I kind of drew a really bad picture on my phone. Over here is the door, and then over here is the bread, that's the counter, that's the kitchen. And we were sitting right over here. I was sitting with my back facing the door, and this whole wall over here is glass. And there's this one other family sitting in the corner in the back, and it was a Japanese family, and I'm pretty sure the mom and the daughter were really big fans of In-hyuk because they were talking to this other Japanese girl really like excitedly, and the dad and the brother looked really bored, so I feel like they've been sitting there for a long time. It was a cute little bakery. It had his photos, and there was this one cork board where fans can leave letters. Before we even got our shaved ice, there was this woman that was walking past me and was trying to talk to the Japanese family. And me, being the creepy stalker fan that I am, I looked at her and I told Anne, that's his mom. Because I'm a creepy stalker fan and I know what his mom looks like. And Anne was like kind of looking at her. She says to me, I think he's here. And I just freaked out. I did this 180 turn and I looked at the glass entrance and I saw a reflection of him standing by the counter, and I just freaked out. I was like, this can't be real. I was just like, I don't know, there's so many emotions going through me at the same time, and I turned and I finally looked at him in the flesh. And I couldn't move, my whole body was frozen. I was happy, but I was ready to cry. Anne looks at me and she's like, please don't faint. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna faint. I'm just really overwhelmed with feelings. And I don't know what to do with them because like the man, the love of my life is standing right in front of me. While I was standing there frozen, freaking out, the Japanese fans all went up to him and they were like shaking his hand and like talking to him. And I'm just standing there like, I don't know what words are. You know, all like, ah. Finally, I walked up to him and they all shook his hand. So I shook his hand and he probably thought I was Japanese too because like everyone else there was Japanese and he was like, oh, arigato. And I was like, I can't speak. What are words? And they all took pictures with him and I was like, I want a picture! So I just like took a picture and then I gave him the letter that I wrote him in really, really bad Korean and I gave him a snack. At this point, I haven't even spoken a word to him because I don't know what to say. I was trying to say something in English and I couldn't say it. I was trying to say something in Korean, I couldn't say it. I was gonna say something in Japanese and I couldn't say it. Like, what are words, you know, at this point? So it was really short, he kind of just came and left. So the few of us followed him out and like waved goodbye as he drove off in his fancy sports car. And still in awe of what's happening because at this point my mind was still blank and I still had no idea what was going on. And then we went back inside and calmed down a little bit. And my friend Anne was talking to his mom who stayed behind and she was saying how he wasn't originally gonna come today. He was just taking her to the doctor. He was just gonna take her right home, but she really wanted to go to the store and clean up and stuff, so he dropped her off. And in the like 5 minutes that he was dropping her off, I so happened was there. Like, I was extremely lucky and till this day I have no idea how I managed that. And then we sat down and we ate our patbingsu and I was just in awe. I couldn't talk. I was shaking still. And that was it. I shook his hand, gave him his letter, took a picture with him, and then walked him out. It was so short and so simple, yet so life-changing. Isn't it weird how one person that you don't even know can mean so much to you and make you so happy even if you get to see them for like 5 minutes? It's been 3 years since this happened, but I still think about it, and I'm not really that deep into K-pop anymore. Eunhyuk's in the army right now, but it's just such a nice memory to have, you know. I think back and I'm like, I saw him in the flesh. I was standing right next to him. And it's just so different than trying to find them after a concert or at a fan meeting when there's security and all that and like millions of fans screaming. This time it just felt really personal and really casual. There was no security, it was just him, his mom, and like 3 other fans. Like, it just felt really personal. Yeah. You know, when I got into K-pop and maybe like 2010, 2011 when I was like really, really deep into K-pop, I definitely had a thought occur to me once. Like, am I ever gonna be able to meet my idols? You know, like, it would suck if I just never got to meet them. And after seeing them in concerts, like, yeah, it's nice, but just having this experience of seeing them so up close and personal was just amazing to me, and I never in a million years thought that I could ever have that kind of experience. At that moment I really thought like, wow, I wish everyone can meet their idols like this. You know, I want everyone to feel the way that I felt. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this really weird, crazy stalker fan story of how I got to meet my ultimate K-pop bias, Eunhyuk from Super Junior, love of my life. And if you guys have a story about the time that you guys met your idols, feel free to share it with me. I want to hear them all. Or it doesn't even have to be a K-pop idol, it could be a celebrity that you really admired or something. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of my story and tell me your own story. I promise to be back soon with a new video, and I will see you guys soon.